Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and this is my VTuber model at the moment. I will be using this as it is free to use for a while till I can afford to get a commission one for my channel. So yeah, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Lucy Does Art, and today we are going to do a MLP redesign because I promised you guys that. You wanted that in the vote, and that's what you're gonna get. Remember watching Gen 1 as a child, and Gen 4 isn't my childhood, but it is in fact something that I did watch. I didn't hate it, but I did wish that they did a lot more with the series, and when they did Gen 5, I was hoping that they would at least not do the whole continuation of Gen 4 and actually went with a new story for Gen 5. Yeah, so today we're going to do, let me find my script, god damn it. Okay, so I can stay off some facts for you guys before we start the video. So, on October 10 of 2010, Gen 4 My Little Pony premiered, and it was known as My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which the story it is, so technically yes. It typically follows the adventures of Twilight and their friends made along the way. Sorry. Ugh. She ends up going to Ponyville after Celestia basically tells her, like, hey, you gotta make some friends. You're just a lonely piece of shit, so make some friends already because you're not obviously learning how to do it here in Canterlot. And then she basically gets sent there with Spike, who is in fact her adopted little sibling slash child, I think. It's very confusing because she technically does raise him herself from the egg, but it's also treated as like, oh, he's just a little sibling. It's like, she technically was the one to make him come out of the egg that he was born in, so doesn't that make her his mom in a way? I don't know. But yeah, it follows the adventures of Twilight and her friends made along the way, such as Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Rarity, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, and I think that's all of them. Hang on, so Fluttershy, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Applejack. Yeah. And then there's an extra few ones like Starlight Glimmer, who are made later on in the series, and Sunset Shimmer. Sunset, Starlight Glimmer, we get to know those as like later on characters that have relevance to the story later on. One of them being villains, another one being another villain who we will talk about in her own redesign video. She is so Twilight is the princess of friendship, and although she started off as not making good, sorry, although she started off not being able to make friends because she's not very good at making friends, she does along the way somehow, and I'm even more confused on how the hell she even did that in the first place. She does in fact make friends, and I like the idea of Twilight still being a unicorn even as she gets older. Like, she's still a princess, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't turn into an alicorn all of a sudden. It's more or less she gets to choose whether she turns into an alicorn or she doesn't, or she just turns into a long-standing unicorn for a while, and then as soon as she hits like a certain rank is when she gets turned into an alicorn. I prefer her being a unicorn because then it would make more sense that she's like earned her magic through both studying through books and studying through like being with her friends and stuff like that. She's the adoptive older sister slash carer to Spike, which is kind of funny considering how he came to be, because like in Generation 1 he and Twilight had nothing to do with each other. He was just a character that hung around the ponies, but in Gen 4 Twilight basically birthed him from the egg, so I have no idea how that works, but okay. I only know Gen 1 lore, so Gen 4 I've had to research for this. she does study a lot, and she's known as a bookworm, which in my opinion she would have glasses because her eyes would be totally stuffed up because she's constantly reading. And in some of the scenes of the show, I think there was one where it was like she was reading in the dark and she looked so sleep deprived. She looks so sleep deprived, the poor thing. And yeah, I also like that in Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks when they gave her a magical girl form, they added yellow to her hair, I think, or mane. I think the yellow does work with her color palette. Um, in certain areas it can work, like in the mane and maybe even in markings. I also, in the redesigns, am going to put that they don't have their cutie marks yet because they have to like earn it through certain means. They don't just aren't just born with their cutie marks, and they don't just earn it after finding out what they're good at. They earn it through um, figuring out how and why they like figuring out how and why cutie marks are like important to them. So for her, it would be like she gets like a book with like magic sparkles coming off it, saying that while she does enjoy studying friendship through books and stuff, and like knows like the basics of it, like being friends is like you basically try to communicate and stuff like that. It's also through like her having to go out and do the physical work of figuring out what friendship is. Um, she after completing a spell that was unfinished by Starswell the Bearded, that's when she becomes an alicorn in the series, which I don't really mind her becoming an alicorn, but it was a bit too early on even for me. Maybe in like season 5 or 6 it could have worked, but very early on it happened and it was just like, why? Why couldn't it have been something like, I don't know, like a little bit later, you know? Um, like her whole thing was like she's a unicorn, she has to learn how to do magic by doing friendship, and she's not very good at doing the physical aspect of friendship. She's very good at doing like the the like mental work of it, but not the physical aspect of it. Um, I also tend to notice that she is very autistic coded as well as OCD coded. Like the whole her not having things be perfect the way it's supposed to be is very OCD coded. I am autistic, and when things aren't going the right way for me, I do tend to struggle with trying to figure out what's going on. So to hear that, like to see that someone is acting the same way that I do when I get stressed out, it's sort of like, yay, representation. But at the same time, it's not like actual representation because they don't declare that the character is this way or not. It's like, oh, they might be, but we don't know. um, I do in fact take Canada as autistic. There's no way in hell she's not. Um, especially with social interactions. She's she's a lot like me when it comes to social interactions. Very awkward at first, but then after a while she gets kind of used to it. The OCD aspect I do get. The whole like if something goes wrong, you kind of panic internally, and it's not like, oh no, everything's gone wrong. It's like, no, I've done something wrong. I've got to repeat the process and see if I can get it done properly. If not, I've stuffed it up. um, thank you all for watching my video. Um, I do have a few things to do. Um, I will be updating the Gaijinka one because I did a Gaijinka video a few months back. I will be updating it and then doing a post of what they look like. So I hope that you guys like it. Also, thank you for watching. I hope you guys liked the VTuber model. I am going to get a commission one from an artist because we support artists and not AI. No AI here. We support artists through and through. As an artist myself, I would rather pay for an artist than use AI. That shit's just weird, man. AI can be used for stuff like VTubing rigging and stuff like that if it helps the person rigging the VTuber. But, and like doing my taxes and stuff like that. But if I'm having an AI do art for me, then what's the point of being human? Like, what's the point in being human if you don't do the things that make you human in the first place? Art is an expression of humanity, and without art, you're not really human. But anyway, I will be doing the other 5 My Little Pony redesigns in the future, and I will also be doing Pokemon redesigns of the Eevees after that and after my break. Thank you all for watching! Have a lovely day or night. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and if you like the VTuber model, thank you. If you didn't, too bad, because I'm going to keep using it for my own privacy reasons. So, yeah. Thank you. Bye!